After waiting over a year after it was announced during GlitchX 2024, the Gaslight District pilot was released. However, after all of this time, people raised the question whether it was worth the wait, and let me tell you, it definitely was. So in this video, I will be giving my review and thoughts on the Gaslight District pilot. Let's start off with the obvious positive to this whole pilot, which is the animation. The combination of 3D and 2D animation with effects like steam or mist within a meat cooler or just shadows or anything other being animated in 2D really help everything pop, and is honestly extremely impressive, especially even for Glitch Productions. Although they are a huge company, they are still an independent company, so this is a huge step in indie animation and just animation as a whole when it's funded independently. Also, the stop motion style of the entire pilot and probably for the rest of the series looks amazing. I really love how it's pretty unique compared to any other indie animation that I know of, and it really helps it stick out. Although the show is presented as a pretty mature show with there being blood, murder, and a whole bunch of other stuff that wouldn't be exactly nice to show to kids, it has a very cartoonish like aspect to it with exaggerated body movements and other things that you would see in like a Looney Tunes episode or something. Speaking of the maturity, I really like how this is going to be more of a, again, mature show. Now you could say that Murder Drones is also a mature show, which it is. It definitely has some things that wouldn't be exactly very nice to show to kids, but it also has a very soft design. There isn't exactly a lot of blood, you know, just oil. And compared to other Liam Vickers stuff, it's pretty tame. And The Amazing Digital Circus has already proven that it is basically targeted towards kids, although as the series goes on, Gooseworks said it will get more serious, although I don't really know how promising that would be. So it is nice to see that Glitch Productions is expanding to more serious like projects with, you know, a little bit more swearing, a little bit more actual blood, and other things that, although not necessarily necessary for a show to be good, it is also nice to see that Glitch Productions is willing to do things more seriously. Moving on, the pilot of the Gaslight District really succeeds at just being a pilot in general. It sets up the world extremely well, does a huge amount of world building, such as, you know, an exposition at the beginning, and also setting the stage for future episodes, which is better than some other pilots that Glitch Productions has produced. The pilot also does a decent job at introducing our main cast of characters. Although Mel or Melancholy and Ken or Ken the Butcher are mostly the ones to get to shine in this episode, we do get a little bit of Mud and Breadhead, which are the other characters in the show. Although Breadhead, it didn't really get any dynamics with any other characters or any conflicts revealed or anything of the sort. Mud definitely got at least, you know, one conflict with that random guard in the security office, and perhaps he'll probably get more time to shine later along with probably Breadhead. Although I would have liked to see more of these characters in the pilot, it isn't necessary for every single character to have a conflict revealed in the pilot, just the majority or half, which is exactly what happens, which is why I'm not exactly marking this as a negative. The character dynamic and conflict between Melancholy and Ken is also very interesting. It seems that, although, you know, minor spoilers by the way, in case you couldn't tell, with Melancholy being the human and everything and wanting to fit in while Ken wants her to not fit in and be like the rest of them, that sets up a very interesting conflict that will probably be further explored in later episodes, at least, you know, I hope. But also their father-daughter dynamic is also just really interesting to watch on screen. One of the only problems I have with this pilot is the pacing. It really feels like you're being rushed through this entire episode, and for the amount of stuff it's trying to shove into your brain in the span of 26 minutes, it doesn't help like you're being drowned in water and waterboarded over and over again with lore knowledge and stuff that's probably going to happen in the future of the show. If there were more moments just for us to just digest everything we were seeing, I wouldn't have to watch this like 5 times or to understand everything. Last but not least, I do want to talk about the comedy that's in this pilot. I think the physical comedy that's in it is actually amazing and better than anything we've really seen Glitch Productions do with any of their other shows in the past. But the comedy in general was still able to make me laugh or at least smile every time I rewatch the pilot. Last thing before I end the video, the camera work, which I forgot to mention in the animation part of this video, is also amazing, although kind of makes me feel motion sick every time I watch it, especially this one scene. Although I didn't really say a lot in this video, I do genuinely really love this pilot, and I think this show has a lot of potential, especially if they keep up this level of quality of animation and writing and everything else. The voice actors are amazing. I really love Fitzy as a main character. I think she really has a lot of potential as a voice actor. I mean, she's amazing. I love her work as Sin. Overall, I really hope that Glitch Productions isn't biting off more than they can chew with this. I know the animation is probably extremely expensive, especially with the combination of 2D and 3D animation and just the style in general, and I really hope the level of quality stays consistent throughout the entire show, or even gets better. If I were to rate this pilot out of 10, I would probably give it an 8.9. It's still an amazing pilot, but does fall short, especially when it comes to pacing and delivering all the information, especially since it feels like you're being like rushed through the entire episode, despite its almost half an hour long runtime. But that's everything I have to say about this pilot for now. If you like this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing, and doing all the other stuff that YouTubers tell you to do. I'll be releasing another video this week, so make sure you stay tuned for that.